What you're about to hear is going to shake you to your core. The WWE Universe is in absolute turmoil right now, and I'm here to tell you exactly what's happening behind those closed curtains. Adam Pearce just made an announcement that has left the entire wrestling world in complete and utter shock. Lives have been changed, hearts have been broken, and the WWE family, they're mourning tonight. This is Wrestle Scope, and I'm bringing you the most devastating breaking news to hit professional wrestling in recent memory. But here's what's really going on that nobody else is telling you. And trust me, by the end of this video, you're going to understand why this changes everything about WWE moving forward. Hello viewers, if you're new here, please don't forget to like and hit the subscribe button for daily updates on WWE Raw. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you saw Adam Pearce, WWE's stone-cold, no-nonsense general manager, break down? When was the last time you saw genuine emotion crack through that corporate facade? Never, that's when. But Friday night, everything changed. Adam Pearce stood in that ring, microphone trembling in his hand, and delivered news that sent shockwaves through every locker room, every arena, and every home where WWE fans were watching. He announced the passing of someone who has been part of the WWE family fabric for years. Someone whose name you might not immediately recognize, but whose impact touches every single superstar you see on your screen. And here's what's making fans furious right now. Why did it take so long for WWE to address this? Why was the announcement buried in a random segment? Why isn't this getting the attention it deserves? The disrespect is real, folks, and the WWE Universe is not staying quiet about it. Reed, known to those in the industry simply as Reed or by his full name that many in the WWE production family called him, wasn't a wrestler. He didn't have championship reigns. His face wasn't on merchandise. But make no mistake, without people like Reed, there is no WWE. There are no WrestleManias. There are no Monday Night Raws. There is no sports entertainment empire. Let me take you behind the curtain for a moment, because this is where the real story lives. The WWE that you see on television, the pyrotechnics, the elaborate stage setups, the perfectly timed camera angles that capture every suplex, every moonsault, every emotional moment, that doesn't just happen by magic. Behind every single broadcast are dozens, sometimes hundreds of crew members whose names you'll never know, but whose work you see every single week. These are the riggers who hang the lighting equipment stories above the ring. These are the sound technicians who make sure you hear every word of a promo cut in the middle of a raucous crowd. These are the camera operators who run up and down those ramps, hoisting heavy equipment to get that perfect shot of Roman Reigns standing tall or Cody Rhodes hitting the crossroads. Reed was one of these unsung heroes. For over a decade, some reports say even longer, Reed worked tirelessly in WWE's production department. Colleagues describe him as the guy who was always there early and always stayed late. The one who would troubleshoot technical problems that could derail an entire show. The one who mentored younger crew members coming into the business, teaching them not just the technical aspects but the passion required to work in this industry. Seth Rollins once said in an interview that wrestlers are only as good as the team around them. Rollins said, "You can have the best match in the world, but if the cameras miss it, if the audio's off, if the lighting doesn't capture the moment, it doesn't matter. The crew is the show just as much as we are." Now let's talk about Friday night and Adam Pearce's announcement, because this is where things get emotional and controversial. The show was progressing normally. Matches were happening, storylines were developing. Then, out of nowhere, Adam Pearce's music hit. No pre-announcement, no indication this was coming. Pearce walked to the ring with an expression that immediately told you something was wrong. The crowd quieted. Even through the screen, you could feel the energy shift. Pearce grabbed a microphone, and for a moment, just a brief, heartbreaking moment, he couldn't speak. This man who makes announcements weekly, who commands authority, who represents WWE management with unwavering professionalism, he was struggling. "Ladies and gentlemen," he began, his voice cracking, "I need to step away from the storylines tonight. I need to step away from the championships and the rivalries, because the WWE family has lost someone special." The arena went silent. Reed, a member of our production crew for over 12 years, a friend to everyone in the locker room, someone who poured his heart into making sure every single show we put on was the best it could possibly be, passed away unexpectedly this week. You could hear gasps from the crowd. Cameras caught several fans with hands over their mouths. In the arena, several WWE superstars who had come out from the back, Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, The Miz, Bianca Belair, stood on the stage with heads bowed. Pearce continued, "Reed didn't do this for fame. He didn't do it for recognition. He did it because he loved this business. He loved making magic happen for all of you.
And everyone, and I mean everyone, who ever worked with Reed loved him back. Pearce's voice broke completely on that last sentence. He had to pause, composing himself, while the camera captured tears running down his face. So tonight, we want to honor Reed's memory. We want his family to know that he was WWE family too, and we will never forget the contributions he made to this company. The show then aired a brief video package, nothing elaborate, just photos of Reed with various superstars over the years. Reed with John Cena on a European tour, Reed backstage at WrestleMania 35, Reed laughing with the New Day, Reed wearing a championship belt that the superstars had clearly placed on him as a joke and a sign of respect. The video lasted maybe 90 seconds, then the show continued with its regularly scheduled programming. And that's where the controversy erupted. Within minutes, and I mean minutes, of this segment airing, social media exploded. Fans were angry, wrestlers past and present were angry, industry insiders were angry. Why? Because this announcement, this tribute, this acknowledgement of a man who gave over a decade of his life to WWE was squeezed between a mid-card match and a commercial break. It lasted less than 5 minutes total. There was no 10-bell salute. There was no extended video package. There was no moment where the entire roster came out to stand in solidarity. Compare this to how WWE handles the passing of former superstars, even those who haven't been with the company in years. Multiple video packages across weeks, dedicated segments, entire shows sometimes dedicated to their memory. And rightfully so, these are legends who deserve that recognition. But what about the people who make those tributes possible? What about the crew members who edit those video packages, who set up those memorial shows, who work 18-hour days making sure everything is perfect? Twitter user at WWE WrestleTruthForReal posted, WWE will spend 30 minutes honoring someone who wrestled for them 40 years ago, but can't give more than 5 minutes to someone who currently works there and died this week? Make it make sense. The tweet got over 200,000 likes in hours. Former WWE production staff member Jennifer Martinez posted on Instagram, Reed was family. He was at my wedding. He helped me learn this industry. And this is how he's honored? A 90-second video package? WWE should be ashamed. Even current WWE superstars started speaking out, carefully because they still work there, but speaking out nonetheless. Sami Zayn posted a lengthy Twitter thread about Reed, sharing personal stories and ending with, some of the most important people in WWE are the ones you never see. Reed was one of those people. He deserved better than this. Kevin Owens, never one to hold back, tweeted simply, Reed, a real one, gone too soon. WWE should have done more, period. AJ Styles posted a photo of him and Reed from what looked like a house show with the caption, this man made sure we looked good every single night. He cared about the product like it was his show. Rest easy, brother. You earned it. The sentiment was universal. Reed deserved more. The crew deserves more. The unsung heroes of WWE deserve recognition equal to their contribution. And fans started asking uncomfortable questions. How many other crew members have passed away that we never heard about? Does WWE only care about people once they're famous enough? What does this say about how WWE treats non-wrestling staff? These are valid questions. These are important questions, and WWE's silence in the days following has only made things worse. So let's talk about who Reed really was, because his story deserves to be told properly. Reed, whose full name has been kept somewhat private out of respect for his family's wishes during this difficult time, started in the wrestling industry like many crew members do, at the bottom, working independent shows, learning the ropes, sometimes literally, and proving that he had the work ethic required for this grueling business. Former wrestler Marcus the Hammer Williams remembers Reed from the early days. This was back in 2005, 2006, somewhere around there. Reed was working these tiny shows in high school gyms, making maybe $100 a night if he was lucky, but he approached it like it was WrestleMania. Every light cue had to be perfect, every sound check was thorough, he cared. That attention to detail caught the attention of WWE scouts. Yes, WWE scouts production crew too, not just wrestlers, and Reed was brought in for a trial period around 2012. He never left. Over the next dozen years, Reed worked his way up from entry-level production assistant to stand as one of the key technical directors for WWE's live events. His specialty, problem-solving under pressure. There's a famous story among WWE crew members about Reed that perfectly encapsulates who he was as a professional and as a person. During a 2018 Monday Night Raw in Chicago, approximately 45 minutes before showtime, there was a catastrophic sound system failure. The entire audio board went down. No microphones would work, no entrance music, no nothing. In the world of live television, this is a nightmare scenario. Panic set in backstage. Executives were freaking out. How do you do a wrestling show with no sound? The show was supposed to go live in less than an hour to millions of viewers. Reed stayed calm. According to eyewitness accounts, while everyone else was panicking, Reed was already on the phone with vendors, already running diagnostic tests, already implementing a backup plan that he had apparently prepared for exactly this scenario, even though most people thought it could never happen. 38 minutes later, with just 7 minutes to spare before the show went live, Reed had the entire system back online. The show went off without a hitch. Fans watching at home never knew anything had gone wrong. Did Reed get a bonus for this? Did he get public recognition? Did WWE make a big deal about how one man's quick thinking and expertise saved a multi-million-dollar broadcast? No. He got a handshake from Vince McMahon, a good job from some producers, and then went right back to work because that was who he was. Current WWE production staff member who wanted to remain anonymous shared this with a wrestling news outlet. Reed was the guy everyone wanted on their crew. If Reed was working your event, you knew it was going to go smoothly. He had this way of making everyone around him better, calmer, more confident. Losing him isn't just losing a skilled technician. It's losing someone who made this whole operation work. Superstars remember him just as fondly. Bailey shared on her Instagram story, Reed was always smiling, always had a joke ready, always made sure you felt comfortable even on the hardest days. I'm going to miss seeing his face backstage. The New Day, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, and Big E posted a joint statement. Reed understood what we were trying to do before we even explained it. He got the vision. He helped us bring our ideas to life. He was one of us. Rest in power, Reed. Even legends who rarely comment on backstage personnel spoke up. Mick Foley posted, in my years in this business, I've learned that the people who work the hardest are often the ones appreciated the least. Reed was the best at what he did, and he made all of us look better. WWE, do better. Stone Cold Steve Austin mentioned Reed on his podcast. I didn't know Reed personally, but I've heard nothing but incredible things. And I'll tell you what pisses me off, and excuse